Welcome back, everyone. Today we're looking at finding the area of parallelograms. The formula for finding area of parallelograms is something that is actually very familiar to you, and you probably already know it. The formula is this: area equals base times height. It's the exact same formula as finding the area of a rectangle. And the reason being, if we were to look at this parallelogram down here at the bottom of our screen, if I were to cut off this triangle right here, and I were to move it across and replace it right here, it would fit perfectly in this spot. And as you can see, our new shape would be a perfect rectangle. So as we solve these problems, that's the reason that we can say the formula is just base times height. The only thing we have to be careful of is when we talk about height, the height is not this slanted part of the parallelogram. This is not our height. Our height has to be perpendicular to the two parallel lines. So if I were to solve this, let's say that I said the base of this particular parallelogram was 10 centimeters, and the height, usually when we talk about the height, it's a dotted line like this, and I'm going to say that the height in this case is 5.5 centimeters. So if I want to solve for the area of this parallelogram, all I'm going to have to do is I'm going to take the formula, area equals, my base is 10 centimeters, I'm going to multiply by the height, which is 5.5 centimeters, and I just multiply that together. Now if we remember our math skills from elementary school, anytime you multiply by 10, all that ends up doing is move your decimal to the right one space when you multiply by 10. So our area becomes 55, and once again, this is area, meaning two dimensions, so it's 55 centimeters squared, and that would be the area of this parallelogram. So I'm going to give you a couple practice problems, and we'll see how you do. Okay, so here are our practice problems, and as you can see, we have two different parallelograms. On this first parallelogram, we're going to have a base of 12 inches, and we're going to have a height of 14 inches. So there's your first problem. You can go ahead and start to solve that one if you'd like. And on our second problem, we're going to use a base of 4 feet, and our height this time, and you'll notice just briefly, the height this time is shown as being outside the parallelogram, and that's okay. The height is always shown as a perpendicular line to the base. So if we follow the line of our base right here, right when we hit this, there's a 90-degree angle. That's also called a perpendicular line. So our height is this dotted line that's running perpendicularly to the base. So for this problem, we're going to say that our height is 4.5 feet. So there you go. Go ahead and start solving those, and then we'll see if you did it right. Okay, so on our first parallelogram, we are going to use the formula, just like we did before, of area equals base times height. And in this problem, our base is 12 inches, so I'm going to go ahead and substitute 12 in for the base, and our height is 14 inches, so I'm going to substitute that for the height. So we're going to go ahead and do the math for this. 14 times 12, 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 1 is 2, and then I have my placeholder, 1 times 4 is 4, and 1 times 1 is 1, and that leaves me with a total of 168 inches squared. So 168 inches squared. So there's our first problem. Now we're going to move over here and solve the second problem. We have 4 times 4.5, that's the area, or rather area equals base times height, just like before. base is 4 feet. The height is 4.5 feet. So we're going to multiply that together. So I have 4.5 times 4. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 4 is 16, plus the 2 is 18. I have one decimal place, so my answer is going to be 18. So the area equals 18 feet squared, or 18 square feet. There you go. Hopefully you guys did well, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.